This time on the Ritzy Travel Guide, we begin a brand new cruise series, showing you around the beautiful Greece and Turkey, renowned the world over for their gorgeous coastal cities, breathtakingly beautiful islands, and most impressive ancient wonders of the world. Join us over 4 episodes as we show you why the Eastern Mediterranean draws so many visitors every year. We're going to show you how to drink, eat, and celebrate your way around one of the most mesmerizing cultural regions of the Mediterranean. Welcome back to the Ritzy Travel Guide. My name is Bill, and it's great to have you along with us. Now, the Mediterranean is always one of our most favourite regions in the world to go cruising. It's chock full of atmosphere. Footage for this series is coming from our most recent trip, where we were aboard Celebrity Cruises and the Infinity. We'll show you little bits of the ship as we go along, because I know you like to see that as well as the destination. So, Athens, Cyprus, Ephesus and Rhodes coming up in future editions, but the one we're starting today is possibly one of the most fun, and one you may or may not have heard of. We're starting with Thessaloniki. It's Greece's second largest city, and it's an absolute food lover's haven. As with all our port review videos, we'll be ranking the city on a number of factors. How easy is access to town, the sights that are available to see, the type of local food on offer, should you self-tour, what is there to see on an excursion further afield, and finally, is Thessaloniki a hit or a miss? We were in Thessaloniki for a couple of days, so plenty of time to explore all that it had on offer. Lovely crisp morning steaming into Thessaloniki, second largest city in Greece. The Navy's in town. Very still, very quiet. Nice and tranquil, gliding in on the morning ocean. Pilot's about to be taken off. Tugboat's on standby, don't know why, we're already tied up, but can never be too sure. Belts and braces. Deck cleaning squad in operation. Always something going on if you have a look. Okay, first people off. Celebrity marquee gang. Oh, there's even a chair coming out in case you need to have a sit down as you come off. Hang on.
Into Thessaloniki, Greece. We are pleased to announce that the ship has received clearance from the local authorities, and any guests wishing to proceed ashore may now do so.
And off we go into Thessaloniki. Hey, I'm ready to explore. Everybody's walking into town because it's very close. You don't really need to catch that bus. If you're able-bodied, just trot along past the waterfront. Well, that's a fairly easy stroll into town. It's about 5 or 10 minutes, depending on your pace.
Look at that pastry.
If you like stopping every few paces, you're in paradise. You're in heaven.
Cinnamon.
Can you smell it on the air?
Sugar. Butter.
The smell of that. Do we reckon we're turning into a food vlog rather than a cruise vlog? Oh, if only you had smell-o-vision, dear viewer. You could smell that wafting in the air. The combination of sugar, cinnamon, cream, and naughtiness. Does naughtiness have an aroma? I think it does. Let's see what might take our fancy. Well, all of it, clearly. Cabinet after cabinet after cabinet of patisserie and cakes and yumminess. Truffles and chocolate and desserts and trifles and... my goodness, your stomach will thank you. Well, the scales won't, but your stomach will. Hang on, there's another shop over there. Which one are we going to go for? It's a toss-up. Here or over there? Hang on. Where's my wife gone? Oh, she's gone. She's disappeared. I think she's gone to the other one. Let's see what's in the other one.
Oh, spanakopita.
Spanakopita.
Oh, I want to try that.
We are in danger of turning into a food vlog.
How can you walk past and not gawk?
Just look at these, just for a second. Just the merest glance.
You just can't walk past at once.
I can't walk past. Look at that. Chocolate truffles of yumminess.
May I say, half an hour later, we're still in the same shop.
You know, I just thought maybe we should start a sub-channel of food vlogs, because sometimes our videos turn into them. Maybe the Ritzy food vlog channel. Good thought, isn't it?
We should try a spanakopita, don't you think?
Okay, you twisted my arm. Okay, so gourmet assistance here. What is a spanakopita? Well, it's almost one of the national dishes. It's a savoury Greek dish.
Layers of beautiful crispy phyllo pastry with spinach and feta.
We have done it. We have put our order in. 9:30. Just had breakfast. Are we hungry? Okay, apparently we are hungry. We've only just had breakfast, but needs must.
We barely got off the ship and I came back with a slice of heaven.
Look at that. That smells amazing.
It does. Savory.
What happened to our willpower? What happened to resisting temptation?
It's buttery. It's crispy. It's flaky. And the savoriness that comes up from the smooth feta and that spinach. Wow. I didn't get one.
You mean my own one?
I'm not sharing this with you.
Oh. Well, let's drink in the atmosphere as we walk along.
Curbside tea.
Curbside tea?
Curbside.
It is, isn't it? I love these little piazzas, these little corners, where you get a slice of the destination you're visiting. Hello. The organ grinder suddenly come next to me. It's not all just bringing the Greek atmosphere to you. Gymnasium Square, this one, isn't it?
I like to go to a town when I cannot read the alphabets because it makes me feel as though I am traveling.
I like him, I think he's fun.
Song from my Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh, is it?
Sort of. Wow. Just look at that. Shoe pastries, eclairs.
You mentioned shoes. Can I show you shoe pastry of a different type over here? It's literally in the shape of shoes. Look at that.
It's chocolate stilettos.
You'd almost feel bad munching into one of those, wouldn't you? It's been so beautifully done.
I think I have to start with the back.
You'd start with a heel, would you?
Yeah.
Do I spot a new set of sunglasses?
I thought I'd buy a pair to match the jeans.
Yes, that's very coordinated. Dear viewer, are you often coordinating sunglasses with clothing? I'm sure you are. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please do give it a thumbs up, as it lets us know we're on the right track and you'd like to see more of this type of material. Ah, the market. Let's go marketing, shall we? How about that for a traditional drink at the side of the road? Kitchenware for you? Needing some pots and pans, saucepans, frying pans, woks? I like back streets like this. Got atmosphere and grit. Feel like brewing up a Turkish coffee?
Yeah, like, you know, this one where you put it on top of your arm.
Right, into the market we go, early morning, like markets. Market dog. Okay, get your haggling clothes on. Listen to that sound. Alright, all manner of seafood. Tentacles, squids, octopus. Anybody like a plate of sheep's heads? There we go. There's the heads. How about that? With the eyes intact and everything else. There we are. Are we thinking we want that for our Saturday lunch? Are we thinking, yep, that's got my name all over it? Saturday lunch. Make some rissoles. You could make some sausages. You could do all sorts of things. That's soup. Let's do a bit more investigating, shall we? These streets are beckoning us out. Nuts. Anybody nuts?
Nuts, anybody nuts?
Did that come out right? Should I reshoot that part?
When you say nuts, anybody nuts?
It's a good pub mix, isn't it? Or a game mix. You could imagine that. Sitting down of an evening with a drink. Oh, I smell olives. Olives on the air. The size of those. Atmosphere this street. I feel like we should be sitting down at this authentic table right here and having some lunch. Say, everybody in Greece is cheerful, laughing and smiling. You hear bonhomie on the air. Oh. It's quite rough and ready, this street, isn't it? But I like it. It's got a bit of everything. Literally everything. Let's going on here? There is a huge queue. There is a queue to get in there. Why is it so busy, this shop?
I think it's kind of like a dip shop.
A dip shop?
Hummus dip shop.
Well,
I think.
half of Thessalonika's in here.
No, in Greece, we can't read much, but if there is a queue, just join it.
Should we ask them why they're all queuing here? By the way, if you're enjoying this cruise guide, please do remember to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We're always traveling the world on cruise ships, and if we find one that we think is fun and you'd like, we try to put out a video. And you can see the ones we currently have on offer here on our playlist. Right, as we were in Thessaloniki for 2 days, we paced ourselves on day 1, and by mid-afternoon we came back to the ship for a bit of relaxation and a drink before heading back out into town at sunset. And we had booked ourselves into the revolving bar and restaurant. Okay, are we all feeling like a view out over Thessaloniki? Let's go up the tower, the Skyline Tower. Here we are, the revolving tower. How about that? Best view over Thessaloniki from the revolving tower.
Possibly the best place for a sundown.
Isn't it? Look at that sparkling view. Cheers. What is that drink?
It's a green smoothie. I think it has spinach, avocado, pears, apples, spirulina.
Cheers. Beautiful view, up high, sun's going down, looking down over the city. Great spot to be. Got a nice party vibe up here. Live music. Candles are out. See you, Josh. I can just make you out.
This is a telecommunications tower, but it's fantastic because there are no skyscrapers here, so you can see the beautiful skyline. And as far as the hills can take you.
It's been a marvellous venue. If you have a chance, come to the tower in Thessaloniki. Beautiful ambiance, beautiful lighting, great service. And best of all, it's really very good value. It's surprisingly good value. And after our sunset drinks and food, it was time to amble back to the ship. We're in Aristotle Square by night. Isn't it pretty this time of night? The atmosphere of it all. It's a gorgeous promenade walk along the waterfront. A really nice, flat amble back to port. If you're able-bodied, I would really recommend it. By the way, if you enjoy cruising, we don't just put out destination guides, we also have an ever-increasing list of ship reviews. From traditional to modern, glamorous to family orientation. Please do take a look at those in our playlist. Still to come in this video, we'll show you some good ideas for out-of-town excursions if you want to go a little further afield. But first, on day 2, we wanted to head back into town and have a traditional Greek breakfast. We're up bright and early with the lark. We're going to have to walk fast into the old town of Thessaloniki. Yes, we're going to have some bougatsa and some Greek coffee.
What's bougatsa?
Bougatsa is a traditional pastry, a Greek pastry, full of butter, full of flaky pastry, full of sugar probably, and a nice, thick, gunky Greek coffee. Now, it's a really nice morning stroll along the promenade from the cruise ship. It's like a mill pond this morning. You can almost swim out there. Anybody want to go swimming? Early morning swim in Greece? Ah, who do we have here slipping into port this morning? It's the Celestial Cruise Line. In the mist there, early morning arriving. I can just imagine this Greek taverna music playing over the speakers as they glide in. Well, that's woken anybody up on our ship hasn't already woken up. Get them out of bed. Often the favourite part of the day, don't you think? Early morning, just a few people up and about. Pirates ahoy. We're at Bougatsa, and they've got the traditional breakfast items. Look at that. Pastries, butter, sugar. That heavenly combination. They're queuing out the door because it's well known for its food.
Nothing is in English. How good is a Greek? Can you speak Greek?
0.
layers of beautiful flaky pastry.
One of those and one of those, please.
Cheese.
That's like a banana pancake. Wow. It's all
And 2 coffees, please.
Very.
Look at that nice skill. That would take your fingers off. Your fingers would be gone. To be really sinful, let's have some chocolate.
Sugar, cinnamon.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Let's have this very sweet. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
That's a
Wow,
very.
that's got sugar on it.
And
That's a heavenly combination.
now, I like an oregano maybe.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
good idea.
It's good with oregano, is it?
Yes.
Could we get more authentic than that? How about that?
When in Greece and you can't speak Greek, all you've got to do when you saunter out in the morning for breakfast is to follow the queue.
Look at that. He said, we want sugar. And I think he was going to be offended if we'd said no. And I said, okay, how about some sugar? Well, I think almost the whole container of sugar came out.
Vanilla, flaky pastry, ice sugar, and cinnamon. You can't go wrong.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Little gully one.
Mine is a single shot.
Small one. Double shot. Big one. Am I going to be zinging? Do you think there's going to be caffeine going through my system, coursing its way through? I will be awake till midnight. Now, I'd like to point out we didn't have breakfast on board so that we could come out and try Greek specialities for breakfast. These are gorgeous, I tell you what.
You need to find the back street and have one of these. When no English is spoken, everything is in Greek, but what you find is completely authentic.
Sweet custard tarts. It reminds me a little bit of pasta donata, you know, the Portuguese custard tart. The Greeks will probably be fuming for me to say that, but if you want to know, if you want to imagine what these baguettes taste like, very similar overtone, vanilla custard with cinnamon and sugar. Why be at the buffet on the cruise ship when you could have traditional delicacies? Simple, but they are delicious. Is there any finer way to start the morning?
With dessert.
It is dessert. We are effectively having dessert for breakfast. When did anybody else last have dessert for breakfast? Pudding for breakfast. Strong? That is thick and gooey and, well, it's like a coffee glue, really, isn't it? Look at that. Silt. I've got silt in my coffee.
Oh look, it's paste.
It is. Look, have you ever seen your coffee like that before?
No, there's still more, right?
You know those old glue pots you used for crafts when you were small at school?
You can use it to stick down.
Cheers. Coffee sludge. Coffee sludge. Perfect way to start a Greek day, don't you think? Let's go and see the old historic quarter. That coffee really was as gunky as it looked. Right, we were completely stuffed from breakfast and needed to walk off some of the flab that we just put on. Time to go round the old city. First to the fort, and then up the hills to the old part of the city. We've arrived at the White Fort. Mobile bread going by. Okay, historical destination number 1 you should see is the White Fort. It's located right down by the waterfront, close to where we just had breakfast. It was built in the 15th century as part of the fortification of the city. During the Ottoman occupation, the White Tower was a prison and a place of torture. And this morning's little project is to go see the old parts of Thessaloniki, up to Anapoli. So we're going up into the hills, you see. We're going to climb up that hill, work off that fattening, sinful breakfast we just had, and walk all the way up there. And it's apparently going to have glorious views. We're coming up to one of the gates. The Arch of Galerius.
It's like an open walking museum, isn't it?
It is.
It's like you're walking the city, but every now and then there is the odd art piece.
It frames modern and ancient.
It's almost like it coexists.
Yeah, would you like that apartment block? You step out of your balcony if you live there, and you've got a 1,000-year-old relic right outside your balcony window. And now for that climb right to the top of the city, to Anapoli. We're getting our step count in this morning. Could be up to 40 or 50,000 by the end of the day. Oh, apparently it's a race. There we are, #proud. We walked up from the White Tower, officially 115 calories. I'm not sure that it was even half a bugazza, was it?
That is very productive.
I'm not sure it is. I think we've still got to do that 4 times to get rid of that breakfast.
Do you know what? When they give you minutes, it can be demoralizing when it says 37 minutes to go. Whereas a calorie count is motivating.
Let's go into the old city walls. Here we are. What? There isn't much of a foreshore city left. The wall is what's left. Inside has gone modern. But let's focus on that part there. Old. First monastery stop. Since 1351. How about that? That's got some history behind it, hasn't it? I'd really recommend this walk up into the hills. You see a lot, don't you? It's a lot of fun. There's a lovely atmosphere up here. I reckon it would be quite loud if you were under those bells at point of ringing. How many decibels do you think that would be if they rang that while you were here?
It's one of my favorite stops because I feel as though here you're living amongst history.
Right, now let's take a look at some of the excursions you can take out of town. First off, an excursion you can buy from the ship or third-party providers are the Pozza thermal baths and springs. Up in the mountains, it's about 90 minutes from town. The natural springs also include therapy pools, a hammam, spas and jacuzzis. The springs are said to be good for rheumatism, skin conditions and circulatory problems. And if you've got a good head for heights, you can always go up into the mountains. It's a little bit further out, but to some it's absolutely worth the 2 hours to get there. It's an excursion to Meteora. The area is UNESCO listed, and you can visit the medieval monasteries perched on cliff edges. You'll be able to see life from a bygone era. There are also optional hikes and rail tours that can be bundled in. Now here's a good excursion for nature lovers, a day trip out to Lake Kokini. A trip here is available from third-party providers. Listed as one of the most valuable wetland habitats in Greece, with about 300 species of birds and rare animals. It's in a tranquil and peaceful setting as you chug along the lake in cute little boats, with full tour guide narrations. You can book this tour through several online providers. Very soon hitting our channel will be episode 2 of our Eastern Mediterranean cruise. We'll be taking you to one of the real gems of the region, Ephesus, and the port that feeds that, Kushadasa. And you're absolutely going to want to see that video because Ephesus is a real gem. And then after that, we'll be off to Cyprus, and then to Athens. So much coming to our channel over coming weeks and months. We've got those various destination videos, as well as our ongoing reviews of the ships. Right, let's now head back to the board we showed you right at the beginning of the video and rate Thessaloniki on these points. Access to town we'd give 9 out of 10. It's very close and easily walkable from the ship. The sites we'd give 8. No, it's not Athens, but there is some historical Roman and Byzantine history to see. The food we'd also give an 8. There are so many fantastic street offerings to try, and we can attest to that. Can you self-tour? Absolutely. If you're sticking to the town, you don't need to buy a ship's tour. That's also a 9. Venturing further afield, there are a few places to go, but they're all 1 to 2 hours away. So we do have to mark that down to a 7 due to the distance. And the final category, is it a hit or a miss? We'd give it a solid 8. It's friendly, it's safe, it's very good value for money, and it's easy to get around. Thank you so much for joining us on the Ritzy Travel Guide. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with us. In the meantime, please take a look at some videos here, and indeed some videos here, and we'll see you in those.